There we go. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everybody doing? I was just on a road, so I was cutting this close. I was like, am I going to get here on time? But I am here, and we're good. So I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you guys have had a good week. It is Friday already. It's amazing how fast the time flies when you're having fun. And so here we are. Before we get into anything, let me do one thing real quick first. I want to check and see if I got my egg count in. All right, I do. So that's perfect. Okay. So anyhow, um, all right. So before we jump into anything, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches will boot you out of here because we are not going to have it. And so, a lot going on, folks. A lot of stuff going on. I just got like two notifications that two other channels were going live right now as well. I'm like, well, that's not good. So, don't they know this is my time on Fridays at 8 o'clock? Uh, but anyhow, um, let me just catch my breath a second. I got to check something here. Okay, all right. I'm going to turn this fan on real quick because I want to have a little breeze blowing on me. Okay. I did not even have a moment to like decompress, so my apologies if I'm not 100% with it at the moment. All right, so uh, according to the title of the live stream, right, things are amping up. Uh, we had the U.S. did some strikes in Syria, and they were retaliatory strikes. They said against. At least Jason is waiting till 9 to have his stream. Well, there you go. Yep. They're having retaliatory strikes. They said uh, against Iranian-backed targets in Syria, and so they just carried those out because of attacks on ships in the U.S. Or not in the U.S. but U.S. ships, and so a lot of stuff going on. Or not? I'm sorry, not attacks on U.S. ships. They were rocket attacks against troops like in Iraq and in those type of places, and so they targeted the spots. I'm sorry, I'm not 100% clear yet, so my brain is not 100% working. Uh, but they're targeting areas obviously where these rockets and stuff came from. So again, it's another acceleration. There's all kinds of threats. Yeah, they were attacking U.S. bases. All kinds of threats being put out there. You got China making threats. You have Russia making threats. You have Iran making threats. You have North Korea making threats, and it's just like it's almost like that big game of chicken. And who's gonna push first, and I honestly, I think I've mentioned this before. I think for the most part, the Iranian people are decent people. They want to live their lives just like we want to live our lives. They don't want their sons and daughters going off to war and dying. And I get that, and I don't either, obviously. I think most Americans would like to have peace, but there's a lot of money in war, and we have been behind a lot of stuff through the years. Overthrow of governments. With the CIA and everybody else involved in different things, and counterintelligence and all those type of things, and so we've had our finger in a lot of pies for a long time. Um, Yeah, Israel is now doing ground attacks now. I did see that as well, Michigan Lifestyle. So, again, and I'm going to say this again, and all these people that were like, oh, well, the Palestinians were really restricted and they weren't allowed to do this and that, and they were like almost living in a prison. To that, I say, you know, why was that implemented in the first place, right? Look what they were doing, look what their agenda was when it came to the Jews. The Jews said that they could live there if they lived in peace, right? I mean, that's not hard. And so, obviously they decided not to. And what they did, um, and it always kills me. It's like these different factions around the world that were all celebrating this attack that Hamas did on Israel. Now these are the same people that are like, oh, well, they need to do a peace accord. They need to stop bombing. They need to, not do ground attacks and all that type of stuff. Well, you know what I say to that? I say, too bad. Payback is a B, if you know what I mean. And I think, like, guys, I've told you how I feel. If it was me and I was Israel, I would start at point A and I would clean the house, wipe them all out. That's me. That's what I would do. You can't let these people come back again and again and again and continue to do the same thing. Yeah, B equals breakfast. That's right. That's right, JJ. Um, you can't. You can't. You show mercy, and people will take advantage of that. Throughout history that has happened. You see it over and over and over again. I mean, if you're going to go all the way, then go all the way. Why play games? I mean, that's what I don't get. You know what I mean? That's what I really don't get. Be smart, take care of your business, and it'll take care of itself. So, but I don't know. It's a lot of craziness going on, and I don't know if you guys saw this or not. Kamala Harris over in Australia talking about and I'm going to bring this up just for a second. Talking about that, the United States needs to do the same thing that Australia did when Australia disarmed its people. And I would say to Kamala Harris and the rest of the bleeding heart liberals that want to disarm us, good luck with that. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Uh, I think you'll find that that'll be a very difficult task to do. That's just my guess on that one. So, but it's insanity. It is absolute insanity. So, yeah, mandatory buyback. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I trust my government so much that I'm gonna, disarm myself so that they can protect me. No, thank you. So, but anyway, so I see Philip is in the house this evening. Hello, Philip from Australia, Melbourne, Australia, to be exact. So, but yeah, I lost mine all in a boating accident too. Yeah, it's just there's no way. Honestly, I mean, if you really think about the logistic, the United States is not like the rest of the world. Okay, we are not the UK. We are not Australia. We are not New Zealand. We have a lot of people here with guns. I mean, that's a fact. I mean, that's just a fact. And to think that and there's a lot of guns that they have no idea that are out there as well. I mean, and that's being realistic. I mean, there's no way that they have a record of every now. Maybe in the last 10 years, maybe they do then, but there's no way that they can come up with and say. Janet says they tried that in Canada, it didn't work. Well, isn't he still in the process of trying to disarm and ban everything up there, Janet? It's but the thing is, there's just no way you're going to get all the guns. There's just no way. Yeah, didn't Israel just prove that unarmed populace is a really bad idea? Exactly, and thank you. And now over in Israel, they are happily selling people guns so that they can defend themselves. Imagine that. Uh, yeah, right. Asif, I like that comment. Asif says, "Will the black bear not attack me if I disarm?" Exactly. It's just like when people would say to me, "Why do you carry a gun on you when you're around your own property?" I live in the middle of the woods, and I'll say this again. Not that I need to explain myself to anybody, other than the fact that it's my right to and I can, but I will explain anyway. I am not the apex predator in these woods. We have packs of coyotes out here. We have black bear. There are other things out in these woods that will kill you. And so, to me, it's like I would rather not be standing there with my hat in my hand, going, "Oh, okay, well, just go away, shoo, shoo." It don't work like that. I want to be able to make sure that I can defend myself, and if it does get me, it's going to have a real bad day in the process. So, but I'm going to try to make sure that that doesn't happen. I try to, yeah, Bigfoot could be out there, exactly. And yes, Jackie, criminals will always have guns because they don't follow any gun law. All the gun laws do is it restricts law abiding citizens. That's all it does. You know how many criminals they made people into in New York when they put the laws into New York that they did? And again, I don't know how I can reiterate this enough when I say this. What part of the Second Amendment do these politicians not understand that says shall not be infringed? I don't think that I need to get permission from my local officials to be able to protect myself. That's just me, right? That's the way I feel. Like New York State, it is ridiculous to try to get a pistol permit in New York. I mean, you got to jump through hoops to try to get a pistol permit in New York State. That's one of the reasons why I absolutely love West Virginia. It's a constitutional carry state. Open, concealed carry, no permit needed, no permission from your government needed. And I like that because that's the way it should be. Because an armed society is a polite society. That's a fact. So, what do we got? 374 in the chat, guys. We're at 125 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do so to show support for the channel. And I do appreciate that ahead of time. And thank you very much. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So, these politicians now don't care about the Second Amendment or the Constitution. I don't disagree with that at all. I agree with you 100%. It sure seems like they want to change everything. And which place is safer? The place with constitutional carry. When I got down here, I talked to a local person, and we were having a conversation, and he said to me, he goes, "Yeah, there's not a lot of fights down here in West Virginia." I go, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "Why is that?" He goes, "Because everybody considers everybody else armed, and a lot of people are walking around carrying guns, so they're not going to act stupid and think they can do whatever they want." Here's another thing to think about too: if they disarm you, okay, what stops the criminals from breaking into your house then? Because they know you can't defend yourself. You're not allowed to have a gun, right? So, you are not able to defend yourself at that point in time. It's insanity. The whole process of it is just, to me, it's insane. But it continues to go on, and they use their little dance and they say all kinds of things. But again, imagine this. I know this is probably a surprise to some people. This latest incident up in Maine was a mental health issue. Wow, what a concept. I can't hardly believe it. Somebody with a mental health issue is the one that perpetuated this crime. Now, what, I don't know. I didn't hear any updates on that today. Somebody said that they called off the shelter in place. Was he caught? Did he commit suicide? I don't know. I had, or did they kill him? What came of that? If anybody has that information, if you would throw it in the chat. He's still at large? Okay. What do I think about the sleeper cells? I think we have a lot to worry about there. I think we have a lot to worry about there. So, and he's ex-military. Yeah, yeah. So, well, he was actually still in the reserves, wasn't he? If I'm not mistaken. So, but yeah, it's just so he's still at large. So who knows where he is? Who knows what's going on there? So craziness. So I mean, just absolute insanity. But it just doesn't stop. You know what I mean? It's over and over and over again, and every time they want to blame the gun and not the person. You know, so in that light, we should ban spoons because spoons make people fat. We need to ban cars because cars are causing people to drive drunk. I mean, yeah, he was also a certified firearms instructor. Yep, and in the reserves. Yep, I knew that. I knew both of those things. So it's just if you're going to try to put it into context, you got to put it into the whole big picture, and that's just my opinion on that. But again, but if somebody's having issues and they need help, they should be able to get the help. That's my take on it. It really is because unfortunately, we another incident, and the bleeding heart are going to scream and jump around and and do what they do. It's absolutely crazy. And places like that aren't safer. Is Chicago safe because they have the strictest gun control laws in the country? Last I checked, they're killing each other with record numbers in Chicago. Is New York City safe? Very restrictive gun laws in New York City. No. And here's the other thing too, and I really want you to think about this. The institutions have all been emptied out, right? All the mental hospitals that were around forever and a day. It said that he left a suicide note in his home. I did see that as well. He left a note to his son, is what I heard. So, but he had just got hearing aids and was hearing voices. Yeah, isn't that weird? That is very, very weird. So, but it's just I don't know, like I said, the whole situation is a terrible thing, and but they emptied out the insane asylums and put all those people either on the street or someplace else. Who knows where they are? And I'm sure none of them fell through the cracks, right? Not that you see them out there talking to themselves on drugs, dealing and doing what they're doing. And then you have these, and again, it's this cycle that I look at it and I go, what are these people thinking? So now a lot of places won't stop people from coming in and stealing. Don't want you to go out and stop them. Don't go in the parking lot. Don't engage them. Just let them take it. I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. You know, if you can identify, see, this is me, okay? You don't want to engage them and stuff like that. That's fine, right? Because you want to keep your employees safe. I get that. But if you can identify beyond a doubt who is stealing, right? Every establishment, everyone out there, every establishment, you ever see the signs that say no shirt, no shoes, no service, right? Um, the business has the right to refuse. So the business has the right to say, we don't want you in our store, right? Why are they not doing that? Why are they not doing that? Say, well, why am I banned? Because we don't want you in our store. That's all they have to say. They don't have to come up with, well, we know you're stealing everything under the sun, right? Um, they killed that old guy greeting at Home Depot. Yeah, no, and like I said, again, to me, if you don't want to them, right? If you don't want to engage them and you don't want to go out in the parking lot and get their plate number and all that because, they stole under a certain amount, whatever. But businesses have the right to refuse. So if you figure out, okay, these are the people that are stealing in the store. They're coming in on a regular basis. They're not buying anything. They're doing nothing but stealing. Identify them and then say, sir, you're no longer allowed to come in the store. You've been banned, right? You've been trespassed. That's all you got to do. Businesses, they have that right to do that. I mean, you look at Walmart does that all the time. If they don't like somebody, then there you go. So it is amazing to me what they allow to go on. So these criminals realize, right? They're not stupid either. They know what's going on. They know it's not just black people, Dawn, or brown people. There's a lot of white people out there stealing too. And it's not about playing. They can't play the race card if you basically were refusing service to you. There's nothing to do with race or anything like that. You don't have to give them a reason. You just say you're banned from the store. They can't sue you for that. Oh, I'm not allowed to go in here. I can't steal anything anymore. If you have it a blanket type of thing and saying, this is, the policy, and basically, get the documentation. So Janet says, Ed, that's what we used to do when we had a business. I don't understand why it is okay for these people, these businesses to go, yeah, just let them steal. What was it? I think Walmart had $5 billion in theft last year. Now, granted, they made like 400 billion, I think, in profit. So that's a loss that they can eat. But I just don't get it. I remember as a kid, you had people walking around a store pretending they were shopping, and they were actually, store people that worked in the store, and they would watch people. So, like I said, the whole thing is insane right now to me. The catch and release mentality of these politicians. I got all the stuff falling. The catch and release mentality of these politicians. Governments saying, oh, well, we'll deal with it another day. We're not going to lock these people up. And when people are arrested, 3 and 4 times within a 24-hour period, Mr. Rose says, I did that for Walmart. You were one of the fake shoppers? Yeah. So, like I said, I don't get it. Yeah, but, yeah, so they just catch them and release them and put them back out and give them a court date. It's just like at the border. What are they doing at the border? There's asylum seekers, so they give them a court date, and the court system is so backed up, it could be, 6 months, it could be a year, it could be a year and a half before they even have their court date. And then are they going to show up, right? And where are they by that point? You have no idea where they are. It's not like they're keeping track of all these people that are coming across the border daily. It's crazy. We had silent shoppers. Yep, somebody was saying it too. They had that. So my high my high school was somebody in her high school was a store detective. Yeah, it's just like I said. The whole mindset now is completely different, and you don't think the criminals know that, And if they get caught, what are they going to do, you know? And they're like I said, they're not trying to catch them. They're not trying to catch them. So, you know, I don't know. I just don't get it. My wife's new kidney is doing fantastic. That's awesome, Mr. Rose. I'm glad to hear that. That's good. So, what kind of injury does Lucky have? I don't think he's injured. I honestly, I thought he might have been like attacked at first, but he's a kind of rooster that doesn't have any feathers on the neck. But he's settled in. He's doing very, very well. He doesn't look to be physically injured at all. I think he was more mentally traumatized. I do not know. I don't know where that chicken came from to start with. Okay, I do not know how that chicken made it through the woods, got here, and got into the pavilion unscathed. I really don't know. It's that's why his name is Lucky, because he sure is lucky. But when they get caught, they want to sue for being caught. Well, it's just like I said, unless they steal a certain amount, they don't even do anything anyway. They don't do anything anyway. So I mean, what's the sense? So yeah, especially with the coyotes. Yeah, yep. I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. But anyway, let's go back to talking about what's going on, especially you know, right now over with Israel and Hamas and all that, and in the West Bank. And you know, obviously, if somebody was saying in the chat that Israel has now gone on the ground and have gone in with ground forces. So it's a trap. He's an NSA spy chicken. Oh my God, yeah, he's wired. So he's got he's looking around, taking everything in. But anyway, so now that they've accelerated, obviously Israel is putting ground forces in there. People have said it in the chat. They just did some ground attacks now. Uh, it's going to amp up and it's going to get worse. That is almost a guarantee. What will happen with other countries? Will they get involved? That's a question. What will we do as the United States of America? We've already said. I mean, look, you think about right now. What commitments have we made? Well, we made hard and fast commitments, right? We got Israel's back. We've already said, right? We're backing Israel. No question, if, ands, or buts about that. We've also said that we have the Philippines back, right? With the situation going on with China, with the Philippines, and their dispute over those. It's a shoal, is what it is, and there is a ship on there that they grounded on there on that shoal that they use as an observation point. And China doesn't like that, and they claim that the shoal is theirs, and that whole thing going on. And China is saying that we need to butt out, we need to mind our own business with that situation, but we're not going to. We've already said we have the Philippines back, right? So there's two guaranteed that we have the Philippines back. And Biden has said himself on numerous occasions that we have Taiwan's back. Now, his handlers have backpedaled after those situations and said, well, no, that's not what he meant. Well, it's exactly what he said, right? It's exactly what he said. So pretty much we have Taiwan's back, we have the Philippines back, and we have Israel's back. We've also warned Iran if they get involved and are, stepping things up, then, we will we will do what we got to do. Now, let's not even forget, we also have been heavily supplying Ukraine in their conflict or war with Russia, right? So there's four different places right there. Two are active right now, right? Um, Everybody's back but our own. Exactly. And I absolutely agree with you. And, and our young men and women, the people that are watching this channel, not the politicians, our young men and women are the ones that are being put in harm's way. I'm not okay with that. I'm just not. You know, um, it has gotten crazy. It has absolutely gotten crazy. So, but all we can do is again prepare the best way that we possibly can. Be ready to do what we need to do to take care of the people that we love and care about, and you know, and go from there. And the politicians are just going to get richer. They're going to feed us whatever song and dance they think that they have to tell us to get us to go along with whatever their agenda is. And like I said again, I have a huge issue with that. I have a huge issue with that. Listen to a podcast from Suspect Sky today. Made too much sense. They talked about 2036 being a year the world changes. Who knows? Who knows? Yes, Janet West. There was a Chinese jet that was with one of our bombers playing games out there with that. And it just takes one time, guys. It takes one interaction to make them pop off that we really didn't want to be involved in or didn't want to be part of. It's all it takes. That's all it takes. And, we just got to do the best that we possibly can. I will ask you guys a question that I've asked many, many people, and, and I've said this over and over and over again. All right, I say if the lights went out tomorrow and we're not coming back on, how ready are you? And that's a legitimate question. And a lot of people, and I've asked a lot of people that question, and I've had a lot of them look right at me and go, "Not really that ready." And so I said, "Well, what are you going to do about it?" You know, Yeah, like the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand. Yep, I remember. Yep, history, John. History repeats itself, and there's a lot of games being played constantly, and so. But again, there is a real possibility that when something happens, it's going to be fast. It's going to be unexpected. People are going to be out of their minds, not knowing what to do. And the more prepared that we are, the better off we're going to be. When you have a potential for 95% of the population to be victims, you know, not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. Sandy M, what I would suggest if you're on a really tight budget, Harbor Freight, Tractor Supply, get yourself a small solar system, buy a couple of deep marine deep cycle batteries. That's an option to be able to still have lights, to be able to charge up devices. You have to think small, and you go from there. That would be the way that I would do it if I was on a really tight budget and looking to, you know, you can pick up the Harbor Freight solar panels for what? Or who's the other one? You got Harbor Freight. You got Tractor Supply. I'm trying to think of the other place that has the solar panels. Oh my God, I can't think of the name of the company. It's on a budget. It's not no, not Maynard's. It's where you can get tools, but they're really cheap as well. Not Rule King. No, I wasn't thinking Rule King. I'm thinking Harbor. I already said Harbor Freight. There's Harbor Freight, Track Supply, and then there's one other place that I can't think of. You can get things relatively cheaply just to have, to get a panel. Get a pan, even if you just get one panel, and you set it up to some batteries, and you get that going. It gives you something as opposed to nothing. So that's yeah. I just Rule King is another awesome place. I love Rule King. I'll be honest with you. I was actually just there the other day, and they are awesome. They are awesome. So, but yeah, it's preparation is important. Being as ready as you possibly can be is important. Doing things on a yeah, I'm going blank on the name, but just do the best you can. What do you do for electricity if we have a nuclear winter that lasts for years? Well, then what you're looking at doing is you're going to have to get, like a wind turbine, get a wind turbine built of some sort that can be obviously modified. You can use an alternator from a car or a truck. With that, you could set up a bicycle, right? Set up a bicycle to run that and get that going with an alternator from a car, and you can feed that into a battery. So a water wheel is another one. Richard just said, yep, hydro's a way. So you do what you have to do. You're going to think outside. Let's put it like this: when that time comes, you will absolutely be thinking outside the box because you're not going to have much of a choice. You're not going to have much of a choice. So, but I have U.S. made high tech solar panels about 10 years old. Oh, they'll still continue to work. You will start to lose, like when they have the solar farms. When they have the solar farms, they replace those panels every couple of years because they start to lose. They're not working at 100% anymore. They might be working at 85% or 80 or 90%. So that's how those things go, and then they sell those solar panels back to people, and people buy them like that. I'd rather buy new, and even if it starts to lose productivity, it's not going to really lose all that much. I don't remember exactly what the percentage is. I don't think it's like 5% a year. I think it's less than that. But obviously, over time, they're not going to be as productive. So you have to have the plans. Am I rotating out? Am I going to get more panels? What am I going to do, and all those type of stuff. So I know I shouldn't be, but after watching the news today, I'm a bit afraid. Well, that's what they want. They want you to be afraid. Um, they want you to be frozen in fear, is what they want. $250 for one at Home Depot, 200-watt off-grid solar panel kit. Okay, so yeah, I mean, there's You can get them anywhere. There's all kinds of places. You can pick up a solar panel online fairly cheaply, have it delivered to you. You can go that route as well. Then it's a matter of having some wiring, having a battery, and then setting up a plug and stuff like that. So a lot of options, a lot of options. But like I said, I've been. If the truck stopped running tomorrow, we're not going to get food, no fuels coming in, all those type of things. We rely on the truck so much, and if there's some kind of situation that happens where we don't have power, okay, yes, I see you. Hi, I know you have to stop. I have to do my live stream. I know. She's such a baby, such a baby. I know. You're a good girl, and I love you. I know. Stop. So, well, I don't care. I have to do this right now. Okay. I know, baby. Okay, you got to get down. Got to get down. All right. Oh, she's too much. She's worse than a child. I swear to you, she is absolutely worse than a child. But, uh, but yeah, I mean, it's alternative ways to get power. You can use water. Like I said, if you have, something that you can set up where you've got even a downward slope of a hill and water runs down there, you can set up hydro. So there's a lot of options out there that you can do, and you just have to just be as prepared as you possibly can. We're at 462 in the chat. We're at 248 on the thumbs up, guys. So again, if you have not, if you think Hella is a handful, you should try my Anna. Oh my God, that's funny. Um, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so. And I appreciate that. It really helps with the algorithms as well. So I thank you for that reason as well. We got Carol coming in from Scotland. Thanks for staying up late with us, Carol. Appreciate it. But, again, if you are not subscribed, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. We are living in scary times. There's no doubt about that. The best way to alleviate fear, in my opinion, is to be as ready as you possibly can be. When something happens, you cross that bridge when it gets there. In the meantime, whatever days, weeks, months, or years that we would have gives us enough time to put us in a position to be in that much better shape. So the more time we get, the better off we're going to be. It's just like with last or this month. I had to think about it a second. So this month we had was it this no one of the we had one building come in the month before, and then this month we had two more buildings come into the homestead. We actually have four more that are going to be coming in. Two should be fairly soon, and then two more probably about a month or so away. Uh, you know, each building that we get in here, it offers us the opportunity to have more shelter, more storage, more things going on in preparedness wise. And, we have to thank you for motivation. Oh, I appreciate that. Like I said, if I encourage you and you see what we're doing, you go, hey, we got to get on the ball. That's awesome. I think that is a really good thing. Um, you know, being prepared is a smart thing to do. It really is. Um, you know, I look at what we've accomplished here in a very short period of time, and it has been a lot. And we have a long way to go. There's a long way to go. And we have to, we're just going to continue to do the best that we can, prepare the best that we can. I have one of my group members can get a hold of 275-gallon totes that were used, that were not used for chemicals and stuff like that. So he's going to be starting to bring them down each month. And that would be huge because, setting up rain catchment all over the place here is going to be hugely, hugely important. And the more that we get set up, the better position it puts us. And, over time, before you know it, if you have, 7, 8 buildings that all have those totes, or, like each building should have at least two. The pavilion will probably have 4. That would be the smart thing to do with the pavilion is have four totes. When Dave gets his building in here, his building is going to be the biggest one of any of them. He should probably have three totes on that building because he's going to have the roof area to collect that water. And so, it's just a matter of, we're trying to get everything in. Getting these buildings in was a big step. I know Bud worked a lot on his building, and Rob is coming down early this next month to put more time in to get his building more squared away, and just work on it. And that's what we need. We need that time. So trust me when I say I hope that we don't have something happen here soon. I really hope we don't, because you have a lot of land. Are you ever thinking of digging a man-made pond? There's a possibility, Larry. There's other things that we really got to focus on first, and we'll work on it as we can, and we're just going to continue to do the best that we can, and whatever time that we have, we're going to hopefully use it to our best advantage and get to where we need to be, and over time we'll get there. It's just like I said, it's a process, and unfortunately, we're not close to where we want to be. Are we better off than where we were? Absolutely. Each month that goes by, we're better off than where we were when we got with the wood stove hooked up in the pavilion, right? That was a huge accomplishment, and getting the pavilion to where it's at right now is a huge accomplishment. And all the roofs are metal. Yes, all the roofs are metal. Yep, that's the way to go. To be honest with you. So, how much did I pay per acre? I've actually talked about that before. I'm really not going to get into that again. I got a really good deal on this property, and I bought it at the right time, and so really happy about that. And it's been awesome. So I don't have any complaints when it comes to that. But but yeah, it's just there's still land out there available. You can get good land at decent prices. The farther out you're willing to go, the more isolated you're willing to be, the better off you're going to be. So, I think that that's the way to go. The Edge Road is a lot better than the first time you drove. Oh my God, yeah, night and day, Delbert. Like I said, that when the delivery guy brought the blue house in here, uh, he gave me fits. He absolutely gave me fits. When he this and another kid brought the wolf layer in, okay, and then that other guy, he ended up bringing in the last two buildings, and he drove all the way in. Is you've seen it on the video with the last two buildings, and he said to me, he goes, "Oh my God, this road is 1,000 times better." Ed, what do you use to sharpen your chainsaw blades? I have a file, Don, that we use down here. So I do have a file down here. That's important to have too. Chains are only going to last so long. So, and that's another thing that I think is important to have plenty of is chains and bars and, bar oil and your mix. Those are all things that you're going to need. So, but now the road's not 100% done yet. I will say that. You know, that again is going to be something that's going to take time. We made huge progress on the road this year. So I am late. Do you think we're going to war? Cripple Creek Farm. I honestly believe that they want to. They want something to happen. I think they want to go to war. Whoever's really in charge, and it sure isn't Biden. But yeah, I honestly do believe that something will happen that will get us involved in something that we shouldn't be involved in, uh, and that's never going to end well. Uh, do I believe that there are elements that are, Iranian or Palestinian or those type of things, sleeper cells in the country? There probably are. I wouldn't say that there wouldn't be any. I'm sure that there are. Are there Chinese sleeper cells in the country? Wouldn't surprise me. Are there Russian sleeper cells in the country? That wouldn't surprise me either. Because guess what? We have them in China and we have them in Russia as well. So it's not like, this is a new concept that, could or could not happen. Um, those things are real possibilities. So, we have to just be smart. We just control what you can control. I think is the biggest thing, the biggest advice that I can give you, and just be ready for when that time comes. So we're at 469. We're at 296 on the thumbs up. Let's say 400, or actually, let's do 425. We're gonna go a little higher because we got the numbers of people in here. So 425 is going to be the goal. So let's see how close we can get to that. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, let's do that to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time. We got the time here. I think you guys can do 425. So, and as soon as we hit 425, stop asking. So if you make it happen sooner, perfect. We'll be done. So everybody it's in here right now, some of you haven't. If all of you that are in here that didn't, we'll be there and I won't ask. So there we go. Anyway, I thank you for that. It really does make a huge, huge difference again with the algorithms. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you ahead of time. So again, the goal is 425. We're at 315, so 110 to go. All right, how many eggs today? And yes or no for Miss Thickneck. And I'm taking a drink first before anybody put anything up there, so that you can't say, oh, he did his tell. We'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses up here, and we will go from there. But no, nothing will surprise me. Honestly, nothing would surprise me. There's definitely, I believe, bad element in this country that want to do us harm. And we've already discussed the easiest way to do that. Like I said, you're never going to destroy America. Okay. I don't think any other country could destroy America. They have to make us destroy ourselves. And there's realistically only one way to do that. And that one way is to kill our power grid. Um, and that's it. If they did that, lights out, party's over, you know. So, all right. If you had the same guess as Dawn Hill, now I didn't think anybody was going to get this today. And Dawn Hill had her guess pretty quickly. And her guess was 0 eggs, and of course, no for Thickneck, because if we have 0 eggs, then there's not going to be a Miss Thickneck laying. Dawn Hill is 100% correct. No eggs today. So the guess is 0. And Dawn was right. And then somebody else actually came in after that and said 0 as well. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. But it's just that time of year. And, it's just probably they're molting, I would imagine. I don't know. The days are getting shorter. They're not getting as much sunlight. And we don't artificially stimulate the chickens with lights and stuff like that to make them lay. I'm a big believer in you have to let them have their time to rest as well. And so that's kind of what I always believe is an important thing. So congratulations to Dawn Hill once again. You've won absolutely nothing. And you are happy. See, so there we go. But so we're at 331 on the thumbs up. The goal is 425. So let's keep them thumbs up coming and hit that goal, and that will be fun. So, yeah, we're actually one of the members of the group. They actually have 6 hens for me that they've raised up that are actually now laying. But we don't have a big enough chicken coop yet for that many, for 7 chickens. So what we're talking about is they're going to bring a couple so that he's not alone. And we'll start out with 2 or 3 hens with Mr. Lucky. And once we get a chicken coop made, there's a couple options out there. There's pre-made chicken coops that we could get that will do the job for now, that we could have 9 to 12 chickens in that coop. And we may go with that route. I don't know. We're going to have to discuss that as a group at the next get together. But, we'll have to figure all those things out. But yeah, I got an email from Miss Thickneck. She said no mealworms, no eggs. Yeah, no kidding. They always take a rest though. When the time of year comes, that happens all the time, and that's okay. I mean, they deserve to have a break here and there. But yeah, everything that we're seeing, all these little feints that go on, and the Chinese Coast Guard, ramming the Philippines boat, and and doing that, and then we're saying we got the Philippines back, and China says mind your own business. All these things are going on. You have this little game of tag that they're playing, and we have increased our presence in the South China Sea. We have a lot more troops over there now. Nuclear capabilities, subs, all that type of thing, and that's why we've done joint operations with South Korea and Japan. Training exercises. They just did a huge training exercise with South Korea and Japan, and so and I don't know if you guys knew this or not too, but Japan has started to increase their military strength uh, you know, just because they need to have being able to defend themselves better. So that's happening as well. We can't. Everybody can't rely on us all the time. We have to have some of these people, stand up for themselves, which would be nice. But we spend more than anybody else on preparing for war. China is a close second, and they have been amping up what they're doing for quite a while. And so there's a gas station in my town, Iranian owner who got taken back to Iran for some reason. That station sat empty for years. Wow. Okay. Well, these things happen. I know a lot of times, and I don't know how true this is, so don't say, well, Prepper Nurse One said it's true, so it's got to be true. I had heard what they would do when these different people from the Middle East would come over, and that's why like the 7-Elevens, gas stations, those type of things, you see a lot of those people running that. And what I understood was if they started a business, there was a certain period of time where they didn't have to pay taxes. And I don't remember how many years it was, but it was, I think, something like 7 years, they were saying, something like that. Well, then what they would do is they would transfer it over to the next relative, and then that relative would get 7 years. Yep, and then they transfer it to it. Yep, and go back. Yep, exactly. So I did hear that that's what they're doing, so they can continue not to pay taxes, and it stays in their families. But then it's a different one running it. And where do you think that money gets funneled back to? Right? It's just like people act like when the immigrants come up from South America. Well, if they come up here and they work for a couple of years, right? And they go back down and they send all that money or the majority of that money back down home. They can go back there and live like kings, you know, but they're willing to come here, sacrifice, work that, do what they got to do to make that money. And yes, I see you, baby. I see you. They're willing to sacrifice and do that. And, he left his American wife behind here. Oh, no kidding. That's funny. Well, it's not funny, but it's funny. But yeah, it's just, so people think, oh, they all want to come here and stay here. A lot of the ones from South America don't want to stay here. They want to come here, they want to make that money, ship it back home, and then after so many years of being up here, then they go back. And like I said, then they live like kings because they've made all this money, and the cost of living is so much cheaper there that they can do that. And I'm not knocking it; it's what happens. So, but it's there's a game that is played constantly, and and we're the suckers because we're the ones going to work every day, paying the bills, paying our taxes, And they tax you on your dollars that they've already taxed. I mean, it's just absolutely insane what happens on a regular basis. So, absolutely crazy. So we're at 357 on a thumbs up. The goal is 425. So let's keep those thumbs up coming, folks, and just see if we can hit that number because why not, right? So, and I appreciate that. What? What? Indians do that too. Yeah, from India. Yep, yep. So, well, and here's the thing: is what I find fascinating that Americans won't do. Okay, Americans don't want to do it. They won't. Excuse me. I don't. I'm busy right now. You're going to have to wait. Oh, stop. No, stop. Down. Be good. You're a good girl. No, you're a good girl, but you just have to wait. Anyway, yeah, she wants bacon. Yeah, exactly. What was I saying here? So you have the Chinese will come over here, right? See all the Chinese restaurants. Everybody knows there's a ton of Chinese restaurants. Well, what they'll do is they'll start a Chinese restaurant, and the whole family will be there, and they all live in the same house, right? They'll come in, they'll all live in the same house. They'll work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week to make that business successful. They'll make that money. They pay off the restaurant. They pay off, the house, and then they buy the next house. And they all just that money is just continuing to come in, and that's what they do. And I got respect for that. I'll be honest with you. I have a ton of respect for that because as Americans, a lot of us won't do that. We won't do it. We wouldn't want to be living in the same house with all our relatives and sacrificing, for the bigger picture, the greater good, because we're stupid. We'll all have 8 different houses, all paying 8 different mortgages and all that, all 8 different property taxes. Instead of doing it that way, where you sacrifice for the short term for the long term goal. When I went off grid, guys, when I went off grid, my whole philosophy was I'm going to do short term sacrifice for long term goal and work on things as I can financially so that I'm not putting myself in huge debt. So when I bought my building, right, I'll go back to this, and people said to me at the time, "Oh my God, you're putting yourself right back in debt again." Well, my payment for that building all those years ago, for a 14 by 40 lofted barn, was $450 a month, and it was for 3 years. 3 years, okay. So it wasn't like I was taking out a 30-year mortgage, anything like that. It was 3 years, and so yeah. Prepper Nurse One, I am a full-blooded Native American. Hang on to your lug nuts because things are about to get hairy. All right, Nathan, thank you very much. I appreciate that. But you know, I said I'm going into debt for 3 years, and that 3 years went by in a blink of an eye. That building is completely paid for. The land in New York is completely paid for. We pay taxes on it. That's it, right? So, then I kept saying to my sister for years and years and years, come live on my property, put a house on my property, live on my property. And she didn't do it, and she didn't do it, and she didn't do it. And she finally did it. And now she just paid off her building. And that was in April when she paid off her building. So now her building is completely paid for. My mother-in-law did not like Texas. She is moving back to New York State. Well, that happens. Some people don't like to change. They don't like change. They can't handle it. See, I think, to me, it's like I said to my mom. My mom always used to say, she goes, "We must have gypsy blood in us because, we're okay with heading off someplace else and starting all over and doing it all again." I never had a problem with that. I never had a problem with that. To me, it was like it's a new adventure. Coming down here and starting this here. To me, it was a new adventure, and starting over and seeing this raw piece of property and having a vision of what we wanted to do and what we wanted to get accomplished here. And what I did in New York, it took me 8 years to do that in New York. The difference is this time I have a group, and we're doing this vision together, and we're looking at the big picture and what we want to get accomplished here and what we want to do. And it's amazing, to be honest with you. And what we've accomplished in a short time is just, it's wild. The time is going to go by no matter what. You can live in fear, and you can be like, oh my God, we're, things are so terrible. Or you can go, okay, I'm going to take my shot. I'm going to see what I can get done. And if something happens, we deal with it then. My husband and I want to move to West Virginia. It's a beautiful state. There's pros and cons with any state, but I absolutely love it here. I will spend the rest of my days down here in West Virginia. I'll tell you that right now. I have years worth of stuff that I want to do on this property. Years worth, and it'll take us there. It'll take us a while to get there. All right, so we're going to do shout outs here in just a second. We're at 374 on a thumbs up, so we're 51 away from our goal of 425. So again, if you have not shot that thumbs up yet, please do so. Let's hit that goal number, and that would be cool. And I won't ask for another one once we hit it. So 425 is the goal, and so now we're 50. Oh, it's jumping up now. Cool. So yes, if you have not shot that up, that please do so again. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you for that reason as well. So, all right. Well, she's laying down here right now, so I'm not going to get her going again. Would not surprise me if she's back in my face before the live stream ends. And if she is, then I'll make sure you guys see her face. Somebody was asking about that. All right. Um, all right. So we have Heavenly Homestead, or Heavenly Hills Homestead. I'm sorry. They're doing giant vegetables. Really cool channel. Definitely check them out. Show them some support. There's Icky Can up in Canada doing his thing up there, living off grid. There is Angry Prepper. That is Jason. Real good guy. Definitely show him some support as well. You have Alaska Prepper doing his thing up in Alaska. Great guy Rudy is. Definitely check him out. There's Alaska Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Sulfur Lions. Two different channels, same guy. Definitely show him some support as well. There is Demcad. Really like him too. There's Corporal's Corner. Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. There is Bizariza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. A very interesting story to listen to there. You have Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast in Seattle. A lot of good information there. You have Magic Prepper up in North Dakota. There is Wranglestar. That is Cody. A lot of good information on his channel. You have Red Poppy Ranch. There is Survival Lily coming at us out of Europe, giving us all the information of what's going on there. There's Kyle's Cabin with Kyle and Sierra up in Minnesota doing their thing up there. Really good channel, living off grid up in Minnesota. There is Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband-wife team, splitting their time between Michigan and Alaska. Really cool people. Good information on their channels as well. You have Green Greg's, another good guy. A lot of good information with his channel. Southern Prepper 1 with his Boots on the Ground series. Definitely worth a listen to. There is Gray Man Prepping. You have Truly Tara 76. There is Doug and Stacy. They've been around a long time. A lot of good information on their channel. The Nomadic Movement down in Panama. Nice young couple down there. The Green Dream Project out in Arizona. Doing their thing, showing you what it's like to live in the desert. We have Camping with Steve Wallace doing stealth camping. Really interesting to watch what he does. A lot of fun to watch him too. Bush Doctor Survival. You have Monkey Works. There's the Needy Homesteader. She's been around a long time. Good channel. A lot of good information with her channel as well. Boss of the Swamp. Another master builder. Always interesting to watch him with what he's doing there. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Diamond's a real smart guy. A lot of good information with his channel. There is Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. Patera says it like it is, so I like that. I respect that about her. There is City Prepper. You have Lumina Acres. There is Suspicious Observer, watching what's going on with the sun and all that. Very interesting there. Bear Independent, The Uneducated Economist. You have Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. There is Mary Greeley News, giving you all the latest updates of what's going on with Yellowstone and everything there. You have Adapt 2030. There's Malachi's Corner, Ice Age Farmer. If you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy you should be getting your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall's a great guy, very passionate about the weather, and he gives back to the community in a very big way. You have Russell Brand. I like Russell Brand. He says it like it is. He lets you decide what you want to do with that, and I think that that's interesting. Deep South Homestead, another very family friendly oriented channel, so I think we should be supporting them as well. You have The Outsider up in Maine. There's The Fit Farmer. You have Prep Rebel. There is Simple Life Reclaimed. There is Townsend's, showing you what it's like to live in the 1800s. I think that's good information to have and know what to do. The Prepared Mind. There's Pinball Preparedness coming at you out of Tennessee. There's East Tennessee Preparedness. You have The Economic Ninja. And last but not least, Little House Off Gritty, also down in Tennessee. A lot of good information out there, a lot of good channels. I know you guys put other channels in the chat as well, and that's fine. I can't give a shout out to everybody. I try to do the best that I can, but I think that, you know, it is a smart thing to do. Prepping with Rex, key for survival for what happens next in this life is a group that is people you surround yourself with. You're lucky to have a group. I have found it very hard to put together a group. And you know what? Prepping with Rex, I agree with you 100%. You know, I've had a learning curve, I'll be honest with you, with putting a group together. There's been ups and downs with that. It's a learning experience. There's no doubt about that. And, you know, I feel very blessed to have the people that I'm surrounding myself with. Somebody had said, you know, how do you know that you can, you know, trust these people? You know, you've like some of them, you know, they've been around for, you know, a little over a year, and you don't know if you can trust them. I'm pretty good at reading people, to be honest with you. And, you know, I think that we've put together a really good group of people that are willing to support each other and work together. You got to realize, folks, it is for um, your own good, realistically. You know, you have to think of your own selfish interest. And what do I mean by that? Well, whatever happens, I want to survive, I want to live. So if I surround myself with good people and the time comes and everybody makes it here, which is obviously, I hope everybody makes it here, and we come together and work together, how is that ever a bad thing? You know, will there be disagreements? I'm sure there will be, right? You know, but we want to not just survive. I mean, if the world blows up tomorrow, a lot of people will be surviving, but they're not going to be thriving. And the goal in Dawn Hill just says not just thrive but or survive but thrive. The goal is to thrive, to do really well, to have the things that we need, to be able to grow our own food, to have our animals, to be as self-sufficient as we would have to be. We would have to be self-sufficient. There's nobody coming in to rescue you at that point. So why would you not want to surround yourself with the people that are going to help you get to where you want to be? It just makes sense to me. And if you have that common interest ahead of time, which is preparedness and, you know, on that same thought wave, that's always a good thing. So we're at 412. We need 13 more thumbs up to hit our goal, guys, of 425. So I know you guys are going to rock it out of the park because we're really close right now. So let's keep them. Are you are you putting a shooting range somewhere for practice? Yes, Larry. We have an idea of what we're. You know, we've been. If you saw the targets out there, you've probably seen them already. We've done a little bit of shooting, but we will definitely be doing more in preparing. So you know that definitely is what we're going to be doing. So we're at 420, 5 away, guys, 5 away from 425. And like I said, then I won't ask again for the rest of the stream. I promise. I might encourage you and say, hey, we are here. And if you want to go more, then that would be great. But again, pay attention to what's going on. Prepare accordingly. Do what you got to do to make sure that you can take care of the people that you love. I think that's more important than anything else. You know, if you can become part of a group, I would highly, highly recommend that you do so. Mike asks, so how do you like living in West Virginia? Really cool that you did the shout outs to the other prepper channels. Also, I like the big box of cheese. It's in the background. I love it down here, Mike. Absolutely love it down here. It's beautiful. The weather is definitely better than New York, no doubt about that. You know, winter's going to be what winter's going to be, and people have said, you know, people have said to me, well, it still snows in West Virginia, and my answer is always the same. Yeah, but not like New York. So that I won't miss. The extended amount of time that we have winter in New York, I won't miss that. So it's definitely much better down here. People down here are very friendly. I will tell you that too. It's really I really really love it down here. So. And there we are. We hit our goal. We're at 425. So thank you guys. So I won't ask for any more, but if you feel inclined to make that number higher, that would be great. So, but yeah, it's you have to, when you're looking for some place, you have to have a list in your mind of what you're looking for. For me, high elevation was important. Water was important. Isolation was important. Not high population density areas close by. That's important. No nuclear power plants nearby. So there's a lot of factors that you have to look at when you're looking at where you want to be and what you want to do. So those are some things to think about. Okay. So anyway, what are your thoughts on herbal medicines? I think that they are awesome. I think they should be utilized more. And the more remedies that you can learn and do that now, I think is a great thing because when the time comes, there's not going to be any more medicines to get from Big Pharma. We're going to be on our own. So knowing how to utilize herbal medicines and stuff like that, I think is really important. So I'm absolutely a proponent of that. I think we need to have those. So anyway, we are Legion because we are many. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. Where is everybody from tonight? We have Philip in Melbourne, Australia. Glad to have you here, Philip. We have Daniel in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Kit in West Coast of Florida. Rhonda, Dayton, Ohio. Omaha, Nebraska with Larry. The UP of Michigan with Dawn. Franklin County, Ohio. We have BC, Canada with Emil. Critter Lover in Virginia. Palatico, Idaho with Janita. Essex Junction, Vermont with John. Leesburg, Florida with Joan. West coast of Minnesota. Waterloo, New York with Sharon. We got Traveler down in Texas. Janet in Central Virginia. The beautiful Pennsylvania Wilds with Pennsyltucky Granny. Chicago, Illinois with Claude. We got Keith in Wisconsin. Morning Light in West Virginia. Troutman, North Carolina with Troy. Ireland with Full of Hope. Glad you stayed up late with us. Charlotte County, Florida with Gloria. Western New York with Karen. East Central Illinois with Lana. St. Cloud, Florida with Nevin. Trenton, Florida. We have Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house. We have Texas with Dust Devil. Hendersonville, North Carolina with Karen. Greenlee County, Arizona with Codster. We got Penny up in Maine. BC, Canada with Janet in the house. Uwankin, Illinois. Northern Georgia with Lone Wolf. North Carolina with Malachi's Corner. Missouri City, Missouri with Russ. Ozark, Arkansas Hillbilly with Randall. Black Mountain, North Carolina with Lamb's Light. So let's see. We have Southwest Oklahoma with Richard. We got Dale from Ohio in West Central Ohio. We have Karen down in North Carolina. We have Dover's Grove, Illinois with Carolyn. Southwest Texas with Kevin. East Central Indiana with Earl. Long Island, New York with Helen. So again, guys, we're all over the country. We're all over the world. We are a huge, huge network of people. We got Mike in North Carolina. Cape Cod, Mass. So all over the world, all over the country. We're a huge network. We're the ones that are awake. We're the ones that can make a difference now by trying to educate people, trying to wake people up. We were the ones that will really make a difference after an SHTF event because people will be willing to learn then because it will be in their best interest to learn. So we got Missouri City in the house with I'm Crazy. I like that. As long as you can admit it, that's a good thing. That's the first step to recovery. Uh, but no, like I said, just I want to continue to encourage you guys not to be victims. I'm going to encourage you to continue to prep, continue to get ready, do the best that you possibly can. We don't have any idea how much time we're going to have, and all we can do is control what we can control. Okay, that's all. And that's the best thing. Best thing you can do. Put yourself in a situation to win. Don't be a victim. Don't rely on this government to help you because they're not going to when the time comes. They're going to watch out for themselves, their rich friends. They already have bunkers and all that stuff all set up and ready to go. So, we don't. So, we got to watch out for each other. So, I think that's give them a crash course from us Gen X kids who lived through the threat of the Iron Curtain. Oh, yeah. It was different times back then, just absolutely completely different. I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. Ladies and gentlemen that moderate for me, I appreciate you. You guys are awesome, and thank you so much for what you do. I want to thank all you guys for being here and supporting the channel. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy these chats, even if I rush into the last minute to get in here to do it. But a lot of fun, and I do enjoy it, and I appreciate the feedback and the questions. I think that's important, and we're just trying to work together. I think is a good thing. Again, just Ed, they're in a big club and we ain't in it. That's exactly right, George Carlin. That is exactly right. What you're doing is inspiring. Thank you, Don. I appreciate that. You know what? I wanted to show people that average people could come together, work together, have a common goal, have a common interest, and make it happen. When I say what I say at the end of all my videos, which I'm going to say here in a minute, I mean it. I mean, if we come together, we can accomplish anything, and that's a fact. And it's just with what we're doing here, it just shows that it's possible and that we can do it. So remember, folks, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. If we can figure out that, we could come together and, like I said, no stopping us. We could accomplish anything, make the world a better place. We really could. Divide us though. That's number one. Race, religion, all that don't mean a thing. At the end of the day, none of that means anything. We have to come together as human beings. And when we can stop looking at color and stop looking at religion and stop looking at, they're a different political affiliation to me, so I'm not going to have nothing. That's all stupid. It's ridiculous. Be whatever religion you want to be. You can't help what color you are. You are who you are, right? But if we come together, it's amazing what we can do. Anyway, also remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really, really important to tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one stopping you from achieving your goals is you. That's it. Nobody else. If you stay positive and stay away from the negativity, you're going to be just fine. Okay? And that's all you got to do. Just live and treat people with respect and dignity, and you're going to be just fine. Hang in there, guys. Set realistic goals, and you make them happen. Don't listen to the negative people telling you what you cannot accomplish, because you can accomplish anything that you set your mind to if you set realistic goals. All right? Have a great night. I will see you all later, and I will see you on the next one. Prepperness 1, out for now.